David Ornstein, our Premier League insider, joins me here. David, so lovely to have you. And I know we could do a whole hour chatting about everything that I know you know, but we're going to begin. We're going to have to taper it down. We're going to begin with, please, an update on the Chelsea ownership situation.
Yeah, well, the pleasure is all mine to be here. And this is a situation that I described on NBC as an existential threat for Chelsea. And that's because of how serious this situation is, with Roman Abramovich being sanctioned by the British government and therefore Chelsea having very little ability to spend. The money will run out at some point and therefore they needed a quick takeover. That looks like it's going to happen. So essentially there were a couple of hundred bidders, interested parties. That's been whittled down to just 4. One group led by Todd Boehly, the LA Dodgers owner, another by the Ricketts family, who own the Chicago Cubs. Sir Martin Broughton, he's a British face of more US investment, of David Blitzer and Josh Harris, who are also involved at Crystal Palace, and also Pagliuca of the Boston Celtics, and he also has interests in Atalanta, the Serie A team. Now, the process is moving very rapidly at breakneck speed, to the extent that the deadline for final bids was supposed to be tomorrow. It's been pushed back to Thursday to allow a bit more time. And then the recommendation of Rain Bank, who are leading this process on behalf of Roman Abramovich, will be made, or was meant to be made, in the week commencing Monday, the 18th of April. Also pushed back a little bit, but we should have an outcome, a conclusion to this bidding process for Chelsea in May. In the meantime, the Premier League are assessing all of the bidders to decide who qualifies and passes their fit and proper persons test rules, so that this can get done very quickly. The government will have to issue a licence for the sale to go through. The bidding parties are meeting with Chelsea executives last week at Stamford Bridge, visiting the club's headquarters. And in the meantime, Chelsea are trying to win matches on the pitch. They've had a bit of a blip recently, but it's getting better. They've got a big Champions League game in midweek, and the suggestion for me is that things are improving on the pitch, and they'll hope so off the pitch now too.
Yeah, they scored 6 yesterday, which was great for them. Not, though, for Manchester United, who played Everton yesterday and lost. Another really disappointing display from Ralph Rangnick's men. Erik Ten Hag waiting in the wings, we're told. Is he going to be announced soon?
Well, we've reported every step of this process on NBC, starting in January, when it was reported by me that the process was about to start. Then in February, the process did start, and they were contacting parties to set up meetings, interviews. Those interviews took place in March, with Manchester United hoping to know their direction of travel by the end of March, start of April. That has happened, with Erik Ten Hag emerging as the preferred candidate. But our audiences, no deal is done with Erik Ten Hag. The process continues. It is said that Mauricio Pochettino is still in the frame, but I think it's pretty clear that Erik Ten Hag is the area, the direction of travel. But he has a number of demands that he wants satisfied around power, control, style of play, recruitment, budgets, areas of communication, being able to get rid of players, being able to bring some in. And so unless all of that is satisfied, Erik Ten Hag is not going to take this job. And he has other options as well. There are clubs that want him. Ajax want him to stay, and we don't know what might happen if he was to say no. Would Manchester United turn to Mauricio Pochettino? My understanding from sources around the situation is that they want to get this process completed in the next 2 weeks, so we should know the outcome of the Manchester United manager, and they need to. Ralph Rangnick's interim time in charge has not been overly successful. They look set to miss out on the Champions League qualification. They were disastrous at Everton yesterday. There's uncertainty over the futures of many of their players. And I think if Manchester United want to get back on the path that they believe they belong on, they need to make a really swift and decisive appointment. And there's a good chance that Erik Ten Hag, who is seemingly the favourite with the main group of supporters, could be the man to do that. There's some intrigue. Could he be the next Pep Guardiola, Jurgen Klopp? Let's see.
Oh, United fans would absolutely love that. Now, a pressing issue for the pitch behind me, when Mo Salah steps on the pitch behind me. Liverpool fans, of course, adore him. But the contract situation is a huge elephant in the room. What is going on with Mo Salah and his future?
The latest reports, Rebecca, from here in the UK are that Salah is close to signing a new contract now. Now, my understanding is not quite that advanced, but from the sources that I speak to, there is now an expectation that he will put pen to paper and a compromise will be reached. This is a really complicated situation that he was speaking about on Sky in the UK this week, saying, I can't say yes, it's going to happen, I can't say no, we just need to focus on these matches. And it really, like with much in football, comes down to the money. It's said that he wants to become the highest paid player in the Premier League, or parity with those at that level. talk of an offer of sort of £400,000 a week over 3 years, that he wanted 500, but that they might compromise on a 4-year deal at 400, so split the difference where you want, and that might get things through. But it's not there yet, guys. It's not over the line, and so this could rumble on. If an agreement isn't reached, then he most likely will become a free agent in the summer of 2023. I don't think Liverpool will sell him now, but I think they're comfortable about the situation because they've got resources, the likes of Luis Diaz and Diogo Jota. But there is also uncertainty over the futures of Roberto Firmino and Sadio Mane as well. But let's not mistake this. Salah is the priority. He's been an absolute phenomenon for them. But Liverpool will not bend over backwards to make this happen because they've got a very strict wage structure that they don't want to break. Yes, you can make exceptions. Yes, he deserves it in many people's eyes, but at what expense? What might it do to the dressing room? I think we'll see today that Salah is a rare talent, and that's why I think this will finally get wrapped up in the coming weeks or months, and it will be a huge moment for Liverpool, huge moment for Jurgen Klopp as manager, and then incoming sporting director, Julian Ward as well. I nearly got the sprinkler stuck down my throat.
Oh, God. Nervous about that happening. Yeah. And the incoming sporting director, that will be a big moment for him.
Exactly. Too. Julian Ward, who's taking over from Michael Edwards, but Jurgen Klopp, I think, will be front and centre of this too, because if Salah stays, it will largely be because of Klopp.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.